In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
BMF Immortal, and it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh wow!
Instead of it being from the, you know, the actual hustler side of the aspirational side, just
you know what I mean? That's right. You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork. If I was ratting, it'd be on CNN.
I don't know what you're talking about.
right.
They ain't telling nobody. Because if you're telling, you can't even look forward to going home.
Okay, so 50 Cent blasted Lil Meech and posted video footage and evidence of him allegedly snitching on his security. The security, who ended up taking the fall for everything, said that he was asleep when Lil Meech threw everything in his...
The internet's been going absolutely insane after rumors dropped that Big Meech himself sent a warning to 50 Cent, telling him to quit talking slick about his son, Lil Meech, or there'd be real consequences. Yeah, this one got personal quick. It all started when 50 posted a wild body cam video that allegedly made Lil Meech look like he snitched on his own friend during a traffic stop.
It's not legal.
Huh?
It's not legal.
What is it?
It's not legal.
Not legal what?
To have
The clip went viral in seconds, showing Meech and his boy getting detained by cops. And then, here's where everything exploded. While they're sitting in the back of the police car, Meech asks the officer, "Y'all find the other stuff?" The cop says, "What?" And Meech replies, "It's not illegal." That tiny line changed everything. The cops suddenly started digging through the car again, something they weren't even planning to do until Meech opened his mouth. Next thing you know, his friend, a dude who goes by 3 Luck,
Oh. Good, man.
Hey, shoot the shotgun right now.
Yeah.
That's what y'all talking about, huh? Oh, y'all fine.
ends up taking the fall for the gun and the drugs found inside. Now he's saying that Lil Meech threw him under the bus just to save himself. 3 Luck wasted no time taking it public. He hit Instagram with photos of him and Meech chilling together back in the day, plus a brutal caption calling him fake. He claimed Meech snitched, got him slapped with federal charges, and cost him years of his life. In his post, he said, "Reason I gotta do Fed time. See this? I hate fake dudes like Lil Meech." That post shook people, especially because he didn't stop there.
Swear to God, sir.
I know, but unfortunately, there's certain procedures we have to follow anytime something comes in that's prohibited, correct?
Right. So listen,
You understand that, correct?
please
Do you have your ID on you?
Sir, my ID's in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact, okay?
Thank you.
But until then, I have to put you in handcuffs until we figure this out.
Okay.
Okay, you understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right, just turn around for me. Be cooperative. Everything's on video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that?
He even came for Big Meech, saying the man raised a lame. 3 Luck said he lost his business, his money, and precious time with his kid because of what he calls Lil Meech's betrayal. Then he took one more shot, saying that the whole death before dishonor code that BMF supposedly lived by was just talk. And while Lil Meech stayed silent through all this chaos, 50 Cent did the exact opposite. He clowned him hard. 50 reposted the body cam clip and even mocked him in his caption, writing, "How you gonna throw your strapping drugs on your man's lap while he sleep? Like, here, take that LOL. Then, to twist the knife deeper, he reposted a screenshot from power star Michael Rainey Jr.'s Instagram and added, "I'm proud of you, Michael. See what happens when you don't do drugs and blow your money on Chrome Heart's jeans." Yeah, 50 wasn't holding back, and it left fans wondering if Big Meech's warning might be more than just talk. 50 wasn't done clowning Lil Meech, not even close. He kept the shots coming, posting a picture from the BMF show with a slick caption that read, "I swear, first he got caught at the airport, now he on tape snitching." That line sent fans straight into chaos. He was talking about that wild real-life arrest when TSA found an unloaded gun in Lil Meech's luggage at the airport. And get this, Meech actually tried to tell security he wasn't an adult yet, even though the man was 23 years old. The internet couldn't stop laughing. Fans flooded the comments, calling him out for trying to pull a kid card. And 50, oh, he made sure to keep that moment alive forever. By then, 50's Instagram had basically turned into a roast arena. Every post was another punchline, and he was having the time of his life doing it. But then, things took a sharp turn. Big Meech himself, the legendary founder of BMF, had finally had enough. According to insiders, Meech sent a message straight through mutual industry contacts, and it was short, cold, and deadly clear. Tell him to stop playing with my son, or else no emojis, no jokes, no extra words, just that. People close to the situation said 50 definitely got the message loud and clear. And it didn't stop there. Rumors began flying that some producers from the BMF TV series actually stepped back from the project for a while, just to let things cool off before it turned into something way bigger. Tension was brewing not just online, but behind the scenes too. Around the same time, Big Meech made a move that spoke volumes without him saying a word. He dropped an old photo of him and Lil Meech together on Instagram, caption, "Nothing can stop us." We all the way up, fans instantly read between the lines. That was a warning shot wrapped in a father's love. It was clear as day that Meech was standing 10 toes down behind his son, no matter what came next. But word on the inside was that Meech was furious. For months, he'd watched from behind bars while 50 kept taking shots at both him and his boy. And he'd stayed quiet, patient even, but this time, insiders say that patience was gone. He felt straight up disrespected. And to really get why things hit this hard, you've got to rewind. This beef didn't start with that snitching clip. Nah, it goes way deeper. The real tension kicked off earlier this year when Big Meech's name got linked with none other than Rick Ross. That's what set 50 off, because his war with Ross has been decades deep. So when 50 saw Big Meech even remotely aligning with Ross, he took it as betrayal. Personal, not business. That's when 50 went on the offensive, and the shots haven't stopped since. 50 took things to an even nastier level. He publicly called Big Meech a rat. He straight up claimed Meech had cooperated with the feds to shave time off his sentence under the First Step Act. To make it sound real, 50 even dropped what he said were court documents that supposedly proved it, saying Meech worked through a woman named Tammy Cowens, one of his longtime associates. But fans weren't buying it. People who actually read those papers said there was nothing in them showing Big Meech ever snitched. His time got reduced because of new federal sentencing rules, not because he cut any deal with law enforcement. When Meech himself finally got a rare chance to speak in a prison interview, he shut that talk all the way down. He said, "If I had ever cooperated, it would have been all over the news years ago." Boom, no hesitation, no confusion. But come on, when has that ever stopped 50? Once he picks a target, he locks in. He just kept pushing, posting, and trolling until it looked like he wanted to break somebody. Fans were torn. Some said 50 was out of line for going after a man who'd spent nearly 30 years behind bars and whose real-life story literally inspired the same BMF show that made 50 millions. Others said 50 was just keeping it real, staying true to his own street code and refusing to mess with anyone who aligns with Rick Ross. Either way, that feud hit boiling point fast. The talk in the streets turned serious. People started whispering that this beef might not stay digital much longer. Tensions were way too high, and both names carried weight. Everyone knew it could go left at any moment. And instead of calming down, 50 just poured gas on the fire. He doubled down again, this time claiming Big Meech was jealous. According to 50, Meech couldn't stand the fact that he had gotten closer to Lil Meech than the father ever could. That's wild, right? 50 said Big Meech was mad because his son looked up to him, not his dad. Especially since 50 was the one who gave Lil Meech his big break in Hollywood. And he wasn't lying about that part. 50 really did put Lil Meech on. He paid for acting lessons, trained him, and made him the face of the BMF series. The same story built off Big Meech's legacy. It's one of the most ironic full circles you could imagine. But then 50 twisted the knife, saying Big Meech couldn't handle seeing his son shine under his spotlight. He told fans, "Envy is what ruined our relationship. Lil Meech was closer to me than his own father." That line hit the internet like a bomb. And just when people thought he couldn't get any messier, 50 went further, saying Big Meech was a bad influence, always teaching his son to blow money and live wild instead of focusing on his future. At that point, it wasn't just industry drama, it was straight up family warfare. 50 tried to paint himself as the real father figure in Lil Meech's life, saying he was the one keeping him focused, clean, and out of trouble. He even claimed, "I told him stop doing drugs, but his pops told him he used to do X like it was cool." That line alone crossed a serious line, because now 50 wasn't just trolling, he was dragging a man's name while that man was still behind bars. Fans were stunned. That was a low blow even by 50's standards. But then, out of nowhere, 50 dropped another story that made jaws drop everywhere. He said that while filming BMF, Lil Meech had a full-on breakdown from drug use, and that 50 himself had to step in and get him help. According to 50, Meech was literally throwing up on set during a weapons test. He claimed that when the team searched Meech's car, they found a stash of whippets, slang for those nitrous oxide canisters people inhale to get a quick high. 50 said he didn't even know what they were at first. He wrote online, "I said, what the F is a whippet? Looked and saw it was like a BB gun in a canister. Fans couldn't believe it." They weren't shocked just because of the story. They were shocked that 50 actually exposed something that personal in public. Stuff like that's supposed to stay behind the scenes, not blasted out to millions for laughs. And here's the craziest part. 50 wasn't lying about one thing. He really did change Lil Meech's life. Before BMF, Lil Meech wasn't known for acting at all. He was just Big Meech's son, living off the name and clout that came with it. But 50 took a massive gamble on him. He paid for acting classes, trained him, and made him the literal face of a huge TV series that redefined his image. Even Lil Meech admitted in old interviews that before 50 came around, he was lost. He said 50 gave him structure, focus, and a chance to be something more than his father's shadow. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. Once the fame, attention, and money started rolling in, the discipline faded fast. Reports claim Lil Meech blew through over $5 million in just 3 years, all on designer fits, flashy jewelry, and cars instead of real investments. And you can bet that drove 50 crazy. He's been preaching discipline and business smarts since day one, so seeing his protege out here burning money and catching headlines for arrests and snitch rumors must have hit deep, not just emotionally, but to his ego. 50 wanted to prove he was the reason Lil Meech blew up, and now he's the one pulling the strings to bring him down. It's wild because this whole situation feels like a father-son bond flipping into full-blown war. The mentor became the enemy overnight, and that's what makes this drama so explosive. This isn't just about fame, it's about loyalty. And if there's one thing everyone knows about 50 Cent, it's that he's obsessed with loyalty. When he feels betrayed, he doesn't just cut ties, he goes for blood. He'll roast you on Instagram, make memes, and even use your downfall as promo for his shows. But here's the twist. Insiders say 50 might have finally gone too far. Even people who used to ride for him are reportedly backing away now, saying he's playing with fire. Because if there's one man you don't disrespect publicly, it's Big Meech, one of the most respected names in street history. 50 started saying he was the real father figure in Lil Meech's life, the one trying to keep him focused and out of trouble. He even bragged, "I told him stop doing drugs, but his pops told him he used to do X like it was cool." That right there was crossing the line, talking down on a man who's still behind bars. Fans couldn't believe how far 50 was taking it. Then he dropped another jaw-dropping claim. He said that while they were filming BMF, Lil Meech had a total breakdown from drug use, and that he had to step in and get him help. According to 50, Meech was throwing up on set during a weapons test, and when they checked his car, they found whippets, those nitrous oxide canisters people inhale for a quick high. 50 even joked that he didn't know what they were at first. He wrote, "I said, what the F is a whippet? Looked and saw it was like a BB gun in a canister." Fans were stunned, not just by the story, but that he'd exposed something that personal online. Stuff like that's supposed to stay private, not turned into content. And the truth is, 50 wasn't lying about one thing. He really did change Lil Meech's life. Before BMF, the kid wasn't acting. He was just Big Meech's son living off the name. But 50 took a risk, paid for acting lessons, and made him the star of a major series built around his father's legacy. In older interviews, Lil Meech even admitted he was lost before 50 came into his life. 50 gave him direction, structure, and a new identity beyond the street legend he came from. But once the fame and the money hit, things started to slide fast. Reports say Meech burned through more than $5 million in just 3 years. Spending on designer clothes, cars, jewelry, everything but investments. That kind of reckless spending had 50 heated. He'd been preaching discipline since day one, and watching Meech spiral probably hit his pride too. He wanted the world to see that he built Lil Meech from scratch, so now he's showing he can break him just as fast. It's wild how quick it flipped. A mentor turning into a public rival. What was once guidance became a grudge, and that's what makes this whole mess so dangerous. Because it's not just about fame anymore, it's about loyalty. 50 Cent takes loyalty like religion, and when he feels crossed, forgiveness isn't an option. He'll turn your name into memes, roast you for views, and twist your downfall into free promo. But here's where things get shaky. Industry insiders whisper that 50's obsession with this snitch storyline might have finally gone too far. Even folks who used to back him are backing off, saying he's playing with fire. Because no matter what era we're in, one thing's still true. You don't come at Big Meech, one of the most respected figures in street history. When street pride collides with the entertainment world and egos get involved, things can spiral real fast. And that's exactly what started happening here. Because the online chaos between 50 Cent and the Meech family suddenly began leaking into real life. Sources close to the situation said that after Big Meech's warning message reached 50, everything went silent for a few days. No new posts, no memes, no slick captions. It was eerie. People started thinking maybe 50 had finally understood the message and backed off. But nah, that quiet didn't last long. Out of nowhere, 50 popped back online with a cryptic post saying, "Some people forget who fed them. Don't bite the hand that made you hot." Everyone knew exactly who that was about. Lil Meech. Even after being warned, 50 just couldn't help himself. It's like he's addicted to the chaos. Every controversy gives him another hit of attention. But this time, it wasn't just about clout or pride anymore. Insiders say Big Meech was really moving behind the scenes now, making calls, reaching out to certain people, and making it clear he wanted his son's name out of the mess. Because one thing people forget, Big Meech might be locked up, but his reach still runs deep. The man has respect in places most folks can't even imagine. And when word got around that he was getting serious about shutting down this feud, the whole industry started paying attention. But 50 being 50, he didn't back down. He started mocking not just Lil Meech, but the entire BMF legacy. He began posting memes comparing the actors from the show to mugshots of the real crew, basically implying that the real BMF was falling apart. That kind of disrespect hit hard for anyone who actually lived through that history. Those aren't just characters or plot lines. That's real street legacy with real names and real losses behind it. Meanwhile, Lil Meech himself stayed quiet publicly, but his socials started telling the story. His posts turned short and cryptic. Stuff like "I'm good" or "they can't break me." Fans flooded his comments, begging for a response to 50's non-stop trolling. Some called him soft for staying silent, while others said he was smart to keep calm and not make things worse. But no matter what side you were on, one thing was obvious. His image had taken a serious hit. Because in the street world, that snitch label sticks. And it sticks hard. When your whole brand is built on loyalty, legacy, and being the son of a legend, even rumors can destroy your credibility. That's why this whole situation felt dangerous. And here's the wild part. Fans started pointing out how ironic it all was. 50 Cent, a man who built his entire empire on staying out of street politics, was now the one stirring up one of the most infamous names in hip-hop history. Some people said he'd gotten so used to beefing with rappers and influencers that he forgot. BMF isn't just another internet storyline. This is real life, and real life comes with real consequences. 50 might have thought it was just another viral feud, but to people tied to that history, this wasn't a game. It was personal. Even people inside the 50's own camp were reportedly begging him to chill out before things went too far. But come on, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. Once he feels disrespected, there's no hitting the brakes. He'll keep firing until he gets the last word, no matter who's standing in his way. And that's what makes this whole feud so tragic, because these two actually shared history. When 50 first launched the BMF show, he called Big Meech's story one of the greatest comeback tales ever told. He swore to keep it raw, real, and authentic, to show the rise and fall of one of the most iconic street movements in American history. That's why fans are heartbroken watching it crumble into this messy circus. What started as a project built on respect and loyalty has turned into a cold war. Egos clashing, accusations flying, and deep family wounds being put on display for the world to see. Instead of honoring a legacy, it's become a soap opera with millions watching every move like it's reality TV. But here's the thing, no matter how loud 50 gets, some people believe he's finally run into a wall he can't climb. Big Meech might be behind bars, but his power and reputation still echo across the hip-hop world. His loyalty runs deep, built over decades, and that doesn't just disappear. His name still carries weight in every city that once looked up to BMF as street legends. And that's exactly why folks are holding their breath right now, because if this feud doesn't cool off soon, it could destroy way more than just reputations. There's serious money, contracts, and even future TV deals caught in the middle of this storm. Nobody wants to see a show about brotherhood and power turn into real-life chaos. The craziest part, it all started over ego, just two men, both icons in their own right, feeling like the other didn't show enough respect. That's it. 50's made a career out of turning beefs into blockbuster entertainment. But this time, it feels heavier. This isn't just internet drama. This is legacy, loyalty, and family all twisted together. And when Big Meech's name gets thrown into the mix, people don't take that lightly. Even if 50 meant it just for clout, he might have opened a door that he can't easily close. Now fans online are going back and forth trying to guess how this ends. Some say they'll squash it quietly behind closed doors. Others think it'll keep boiling until someone really gets hurt. Or worse, the BMF show itself collapses under the tension. Right now, the energy is tense. 50 still posting, still throwing jabs. Lil Meech is trying hard to keep his cool and not make it worse. And Big Meech, he's silent, completely silent. But that silence speaks louder than anything. The streets are locked in right now and watching every move, every post, every whisper, because everyone knows just how unpredictable 50 can be and how much pride a man like Big Meech carries. This ain't your regular industry beef. This one's got real weight behind it. If this feud keeps burning, it's gonna reshape how people see both of them. On one side, you've got 50, the relentless hustler who'll talk his way into any spotlight no matter who he offends. On the other, Big Meech, the silent OG, the man who doesn't need to say much because power speaks for itself. At its core, this whole story stopped being about trolling a long time ago. It's about loyalty, respect, and legacy, all clashing in front of millions of eyes online. What started as a simple misunderstanding has spiraled into a public standoff between two giants, each with something to prove. And now fans can't look away. Every day the tension gets thicker, the silence gets louder, and the outcome feels more unpredictable. One thing's guaranteed, whatever happens next, it's gonna shake the culture to its core. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.